At their own 24-yard line.
Green 80! 56, right there, 56. So don't say no. Check 3, check. One left. Slam.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Check. Check. 1 left. Get in the way, really. Get in the way.
Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Wilson now on 3rd down. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. It's a big play there for Seattle. 59 yards. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. From the gun, it's Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now the 3rd leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
The Browns opted not to pick a running back with their first 2 selections at number 1 and 4 in the 1st round. But they circled back in the 2nd round and got a really good one in Nick Chubb out of Georgia. Broke off a nice run there, and that's where he's good. Good vision, able to see where the hole is, and make nice gains each time he touches the ball.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, alert! Check cross. Mike 50. No gain on this, D. Pistol. Spawns. Hey, alert! Check. My touch.
Mayfield now. And an alley to run. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Mayfield on first down. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Joker. Hey, alert 33.
Throwing again on second down. Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
Well, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
I got you.
Mayfield with it once more. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. With a sack, it's Ziggy Ansah.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack.
Switch. Point it right. Kings.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
49, guys. Mike, 49. Watch twist. Pistol. Hey, switch gears. Hey, alert.
Mayfield. And the pressure gets to him again. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this score will stay right where it is. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this. You have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
Four down. Be good. Hey, zero. Come. Got it.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And he is going to be stopped on the return at his own 3-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Hey, alert 33. Big time.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mayfield. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Mayfield to throw it, and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48, and a return of 8. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. From midfield now, here's Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
A gain of 27 on the play.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
36 power.
To throw is Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. This time, the extra point up and good. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Browns take over 1st and 10.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Chubb. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Set, 180. Pistol. Let's go. Tight dog. Check 99. Kill.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Mayfield nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon.
No. He's coming. We got double up.
3rd and long for Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 36. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. So they move from 136 over to the other as they come up on 1st down. Mayfield looks to throw. He finds his target, Beckham. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They've got a 1st and... Chubb fumbled it.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
180. Regular.
A run for Nick Chubb. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Browns on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Safety screen. Hey, alert 33. Rush in.
From the gun, Mayfield. It's caught, Beckham. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Barber, and he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
Second and goal from the 1. They'll give it to Chubb. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. A 1-yard run on first down, another one on second. Tell you, it doesn't do much for the yards per carry average, but it gets them 6 points.
And I just wonder in contract negotiations, do you show the 6 points scored, or do you show the yards per carry
I'm
first?
showing the 6 points.
No doubt about it. And his team benefits. They don't care about yards per carry. They just care about points up on the board.
So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a 1-score, 6-point game. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Push him back. Check 26, check 26. 19. Touch 50, touch 50.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Let's go.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Bring out, bring out, bring out.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. A good pickup there at 22. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson steps away to his left. Now he'll pull it down. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
6 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Fight, 315. 56 to Mike. Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo! Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, hey. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Go 14. Check, 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 check. Go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Open man is Gordon, complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 14.
A gain of 21 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. In this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Lady! Check 53. I got listen. Check 9. Check 3. One left.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. They come out here in the I. They'll go again from the 3 here on second and goal.
Don't get nervous. 53, Mike. Come off the ball, Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. Good job right there. I'm going back to you. 53. That's it. 53 is the Mike.
Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. How about this Browns defense they've held so far? This is now third and goal. He'll find Metcalf. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Now a timeout coming here defensively. As on fourth down, may as well make him punt it. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Myers' kick is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at the 40.
He's coming. Double up. Point it right. Real. Kill.
On the carry, it's Chubb. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Bandit. Check. Crunch. King.
Throwing. Mayfield. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. On 1st down, Carson, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the interception by the Seahawks D leads to a touchdown. So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks.
Alert.
14. 53. Mike. Echo. Check. He alert. Check. Big screen. Bring it.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the 2-point conversion for good measure. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
54's Mike. Check. Pistol. 54.
To throw, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The 330-pounder Al Woods brings the boom on the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Joker. Tighten up.
Hey, Echo.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Fourth down.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
49, guys. Mike, 49.
You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
Hey, alert.
Slam.
Up.
They're indeed going. It's Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
What? 56, right there. 56. Watch the curl.
They'll run on first down. It's Carson, and running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
19.
Get that ball.
Looking to throw on second down. Wilson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Christian Kirksey coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Switch it.
On third down, Carson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. So he's in for his 3rd score of the game, and defense probably saying, man, we don't want to see this guy for a long time.
It's bad enough when anyone scores a touchdown against you, but for one person to get 3, it almost sets him apart from the rest of the game, and no one likes to see any of those players on a pedestal, not from the defensive point of view.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7.
The Browns take over first and 10. At their own 29-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover.
180!
Get ready.
On second and 9, Mayfield. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. So there on that play, offensively, they were in the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Here's Mayfield. Open man is Ross, complete.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. This is the tight end, Njoku. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, alert 33.
They run again on 1st down. Chubb. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns get a score closer. So up comes Mayfield as his guys will go for 2. Here's Chubb to try to run it in. But he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Gets fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because
it's caught inside the 25. And all the way down inside the 25 before he gets out of bounds.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now a toss play. It's Carson. He's got the 1st down inside the 10 and all the way down to the 5. 18 yards that time to push him up 1st and goal.
That's a 5-yard line.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Throwing is Wilson. toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Incomplete on the throwaway. It's now 4th and goal.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This to make it a 3-score game late. And Myers able to knock it through. And that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's caught by OBJ. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both.
And he loses the football a second time. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Myles Garrett able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Hey, 0-0-0.
Mike 56, Mike 56.
After the sack on first down, Wilson able to get away. It's complete to Lockett. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Give them 32 on the play. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 25-yard line.
56. Go. 56, right there. 56.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. Got a man open, it's Ross. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts to...
And oh my goodness, he loses it again. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
That catch good for 5. It's third down. The Browns on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot. Barber on 1st and 10. A gain of 3, second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up. They run it again with Chubb. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Mayfield to throw it. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Seahawks have recovered. And they're not able to convert on 4th down. Well, let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game. And all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball.
He's got a man complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Extra point up and through by Myers, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field.
That's caught inside the 20. A big play that time for Cleveland. 59 yards. Well, they had held him pretty well in check, but if you recall back in the first quarter, you said they needed to avoid the big play. He finally gets loose.
And the thing about it, it doesn't have to be a bunch of big plays. Sometimes one big play can be enough. That's why it's tough to deal with a guy like that.
Mayfield looks to throw, and he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Watch 54.
Y'all not ready.
Mayfield. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It's now 4th down.
And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14. Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.